So I don't track calories on an app, but I have worked with dietitians and they have given me an understanding of portion control and how to balance meals. So within the information and suggested meal plans they gave me, there were calorie ranges. So it was somewhere between 1,800 and 2,000 calories a day. However, they were very much trying to get me to think about the nutrition of what I was eating, not necessarily specifically the calories. That doesn't mean that calories don't matter, and I am aware that you need to be in a calorie deficit in order to lose weight. And so for me, tracking calories in an app is really tedious. It doesn't really work. I've done it before. I prefer to think about balancing my meals and having an overall understanding of what I'm eating, rather than just focusing on the calories. There are specific things that I'm very conscious of when it comes to calories. So I tend to have a treat a day. So like a couple of biscuits and chocolate, maybe a packet of crisps. And I am very clear in my head that that's not more than 150 calories. Last week was a bit different because it was my birthday. So even though it was more than 150 calories because I had birthday cake and pudding most days, I was really aware of what those calories looked like. So I was eating them mindfully, but just enjoying them for the week. And now I'm back to normal. There are also foods that I'm aware of that I can overeat, even though they're nutrient dense. So things like dates or dried fruit, I really love those, but I have to be really aware of the portions when it comes to that. Nuts are another thing for me that I'm very easily can be overeaten, even though they have great nutrition. So I'd be really aware of how much I was eating of those things. But then there's other things like if I want some extra chicken because I'm a bit hungry, or if I want more broccoli, I'm not going to get overly stressed about that. I'm mindful if I have cheese about how much cheese I'm using. Generally speaking, when I have yogurt, I will get the individual portions because honestly, I still don't trust myself to measure out yogurt. So those types of things do help me. So I am aware of calories. I guess there is an upper limit sort of, but I don't really track them and I don't get too stressed. And overall, it feels like a more sustainable way to exist in terms of how I want to live my life and what works for me. I feel like I'm changing my eating patterns and being aware of how I make myself full and being aware of nutrition and fruit and veg portions rather than necessarily how many specific calories are in everything that I eat. That is just me and how I've interpreted the information I got from dietitians. My top tip when it does come to losing weight is actually to speak to a dietitian because they are going to be able to give you the best plan based on your needs, based on your circumstances, and based on your requirements. Calories are absolutely one way that you can do it, and you do need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. However, it doesn't have to be the only thing that you consider if you are trying to go on a health journey rather than just specifically losing weight.